As we near the end of this long debate, I want to speak to those who are still weighing their vote and any who are still wavering. To them, in fact, everybody, let me say with respect to our resolution, if you want to vote for bold initiatives like health care for the millions who don't have insurance, our resolution lays out the framework for helping that to happen and for funding it so that the net cost is not added to the deficit. If you want to say to the next child you meet in a classroom, you can go to college. Yes, you can go to college. Yes, you can. You can go because Pell Grants will help pay the way if you do your studies and work hard. If you want to look that child in the eye and say just that, our resolution is a resolution you should vote for. If you want to go vote for tax reduction, this resolution supports $1.7 trillion in net tax reduction over 10 years, including all of the middle income tax cuts that we passed in 2001 and 2003. And that's not my contention. That's CBO's conclusion after reviewing this budget. If you want to vote for deficit reduction, our resolution reduces this year's deficit of $1.8 trillion, an unwelcome inheritance from the last administration. Our resolution reduces that deficit by 2/3, down to $586 billion by the year 2013, when it would be 3.5% of GDP, roughly the growth rate that year. If you want to be sure in voting for deficit reduction that the deficit will actually be reduced, our party is a party that balanced the budget in 1998. Our party is a party that paid off $400 billion in Treasury debt. Our party is a party that left President Bush a surplus of $236 billion the year before he came, $5.6 trillion over the next 10 years of his administration. We wiped out the deficit. They wiped out the surplus. Not only did they wipe out the surplus, they ran up more than $5 trillion in debt and left us a tab, $1.752 trillion in deficit, which we're struggling with now, right now, in the well of this House, and will be for years to come. So when it comes to deficit reduction, we rest our case on the record. If you want to show where cost savings have been achieved because of the budget you vote for, this resolution saves significant sum by converting guaranteed student loans to direct loans. We save billions more by funding program integrity initiatives in agencies like the IRS and HHS and Labor and SSA to wipe out waste, fraud, and abuse. And we save $176 billion over 10 years by competing Medicare Advantage plans. So if you want reasons why you should vote, we've got them. And finally, if you're still swayed by the other side's rhetoric, let me offer in evidence Exhibit A on this poster right beside me. This chart is a simple side-by-side which shows what Democrats accomplished in the 1980s compared to what Republicans have accomplished since 2001. Average monthly job growth, this is really dramatic. Clinton administration, Democrats in the 1990s, 217,000 jobs every month, job creation. Republicans, 2,000 as opposed to 271,000. This is a matter of record. Net job creation, 22.7 million jobs. That's the net accomplishment of the Clinton administration. Bush administration's net accomplishment, $1.9 million. Percentage of Americans living in poverty, during the Clinton administration, 3.8% reduction. During the Bush administration, 0.8 of a percentage point increase. Americans without health care, I yield myself 30 additional seconds.
Gentleman is recognized for 30 seconds.
Americans without health care or health coverage had dropped from 15.3% to 13.7% in the Clinton years and went back up to 15.3% in the Bush years. These facts speak louder than anything I could say. The difference between us is profound. And if you want to know whom you can believe, trust, expect, and put your faith in with respect to economic planning, just remember what we did in the 1990s and what we can do in the period we have now with the president we have and the program we're trying to devise. Vote for the base resolution, the House Democratic resolution.